Alright, this is my setup for my red-tailed catfish. You see him just swimming there. Got his little buddy darting around. He's having a good time. But this is my kind of trial and error version of how to get a... This was originally a saltwater tank. And I get a saltwater tank to work for freshwater and also work for special catfish right there. Uh, One of the big improvements I recently discovered is, as you see, it's one of the growlers. Yeah, that's grass seed in there. There's a point behind that. It's just to help the filtration, and there's a big square thing too, and all the bacteria is down there, so that's real good. But one of the second biggest things I did is I put a power head on the output because I have a lovely wet dry. Now, this was originally designed for saltwater, not freshwater. I had to adapt it. But it's actually working quite well to do what it's doing. Because, like I said, there's the bacteria. And what I actually did here is inside there's even more grass that's still growing. And that's just to remove the toxins. And then inside this basin, I have a mixture of ammonia rocks and carbon. And this is just the stuff that the grass is growing on. It's just left over from the old filter that I used to use. I forget what that filter was. It sucked, though. It was that blue kind, Petco always sells. But there's the bacteria filtration thingy bob. That looks really cool. Little tiny bacteria. There's a growing nuts in there, cleaning it all out. I actually have both of these bags full of carbon. And that's really, really nice, because once I did that, everything started falling in line. But one of the biggest things I found, and if anybody has a tank with I call it growler. I don't know what the heck it is. Because if you ever hear that thing, it growls. It growls big time. And what I actually did here, this is a Roman design. I was watching History Channel, and they were talking about how the Romans had the water go down, and the water go up higher, and then that makes the water always go in that direction, no matter what. It's like a pressurized kind of deal. And I thought, well, I wonder, because why it was growling was because this was such a straight shot originally that the water would just go and then drain that little compartment back there, the little black compartment I showed you with the grass coming out of it, and it would start making a horrible growling noise, and that's what it would sound like. It was horrible. You're trying to talk to somebody, show off your fish tank, and your fish tank's growling at them. Going, no one wants that. So basically, I did it for the fact that it does increase the vacuum. I don't know what that was. That was weird. It does increase the vacuum, but it also slows the water down by a lot. Because now it's not going a mile a freaking minute anymore. So this acts almost like a little basin to keep the water, and then I can adjust. And if there's a problem, I can turn this off. This actually came from the what is that thing called? The skimmer. It had a skimmer in it originally. I took that off because you don't need no stinking skimmer. But other little improvements in there, I have a UV filter, modified UV filter. And he's running. I always check that. But I say modified. What does that mean? Basically, it's connected directly into the first. One thing I found is funny is when I first got this thing, I thought it actually had sumps and stuff, but it actually turns out that this isn't a sump filter. I mean, sump pump. It's actually just a power head. So the UV is connected directly into the sump, the power head, and I had to modify it so it had more flow. That was kind of cool because it looks really neat in there when you take it apart. But it had like all these like little filters and stuff like that in there, and that's all gone. But that's pretty much it. I mean, the system works pretty nice. You got really nice water flow in there, if you can see. You got all that. You got the grass growing. I really like the grass because the grass eats a lot of the bad stuff. You know, the nitrates and stuff like that. You also might be wondering why is this? And that's because this setup is kind of old. It came from Penn State and it's pretty old. And I encountered a little bit of a leak somewhere. I don't know where. That's why this is also here, but this is dry. I just keep it there just in case. But what it basically does is just squeezes it together. I don't know what kind of strap this is or anything like that, but it's it's just squeezing the sides together, and that's all it really needs to do. Because it's just like a little pin leak somewhere. When I got it going, it leaked like a freaking sieve. I didn't know. I didn't know that was the problem at all. I got it going, and all of a sudden the floor got wet, and I'm like, shit, you have a leak, don't you? But everything's fine. You know, he's really happy in here. He's got his one buddy and then his other buddy who's fairly stupid. And so it looks kind of like crap in here, but somebody, I don't know who, speaking of, right there, likes to redecorate. That thing was originally up there, and I have the clay bottom that I thought, hey, I could stick stuff to, and nothing would ever happen. No, he's super strong, so that didn't happen. But as you can see, everything's working good. And that's why I have a power head going like that. That's because he is used to the Amazon and has pretty tough currents. And not a lot of people actually take that in mind that these fish are very unique in the fact that they. Oh, he wants me to touch the glass. He knows that. It's cute. And say, where's everybody at? I need to touch the glass. But these fish have certain needs that they need to be filled. They need to not have very much high pH. This tank doesn't have high pH at all. It needs to have some kind of current. It's actually got two. It's got two counter currents because you got that and you got the power head. So he's pretty happy with all the current. And the tank's a little dirty because of Captain Poopy over there. But everything seems to be working out great. I would definitely recommend modifying if you have a growling filtration system. What that is it's just a foam block I got at Petco, and then inside there's a piece of fabric over the inlet because that really stops the growling. That was one of the first things I did. If you don't have the system in the bottom, it's still going to want to growl. You got to put the system and that in there to make it not growl. Because if you just cover it up, it's just gonna growl and growl and growl and growl and growl. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube going, how do I stop this? Why does it growl? It's really annoying. Why did someone come up with this? Because you don't know what you're doing. But that's pretty much it. He's a happy little guy. Peace out, YouTube.